Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval. Today we'll be reviewing Shimakaze, specifically the prism one you can buy. This one would be Sakura Shimakaze, or I've shortened the name down to Sakura, and that's how I'll be referring to her for the rest of the game. Now, you may be wondering what the difference between this one and this one is. And the only thing is that it is colored pink and has flower torpedoes. Now you may think I'm joking or just messing around. I am 100% not messing around, I assure you. There's no difference in any of the stats of the ship at all. Except maybe just the normal negative 10% accuracy to incoming shells. Besides that, there's nothing that's different between these torpedoes. So if you don't have Shimakaze yet, it has really good torps. It has 3 quintuple launchers, so you can put 15 torpedoes in at a time. It has 6 guns that are really good for Japanese ships and can actually handle destroyers quite effectively. So you get smoke screen, you get speed boost. It was really good when it used to have torpedo reload booster, but they removed that a few patches ago. Let's see. You have 2 sets of torpedoes you can use. You have 20 km torpedoes that do 21,000 damage at 68 knots, or you have 20,000 damage torpedoes that go 8 kilometers at 76 knots. Now, I could definitely use the extremely fast 76 knot torpedoes, and before the nerf I did, but when they dropped it down to 8 kilometers from, was it 10 or 12? I forget now, but 8 kilometers is not enough, I found, in most of the gameplay to accurately survive after an encounter. So your surface detectability is 7.2 without any debuffs, so you only have about 600 meters of range to play with. And it may be a fast destroyer, but it's not a very maneuverable one compared to all the other tier 10s. Or I should say tier 5 matchmaking tier 10s. So I just use the 20 kilometers just as to keep a safe distance. However, that also has a double-edged sword in the fact that I end up usually torpedoing teammates because torpedoes just go for so long. Alright, so like I said, exactly the same as Shimakaze. AA is absolutely 0, pretty much. But good speed. With speed boost, you can go up to 42.7.9 knots without any buffs. It's the second fastest, or actually it shares the same speed as, where is it, Shimakaze, for fastest Japanese destroyer. So it's definitely not lacking in speed. Guns are good, torpedoes are good, stealth is good. Drawbacks per normal Japanese destroyer are health and anti-aircraft defense, and some in maneuverability, but it's still a good ship. So let's hop into a game and show you what we can do. Alright, here we have a game. We're going up against L6, Alsace, Iowa Bismarck, Worcester, Sakura, Aki, and Tashkent. So a lot of battleships, which this is... Battleships are where the ship gets its most damage from. You try and find the broadsides, and you dump a bunch of torpedoes into the broadsides, and that's where you get your damage. Cruisers are going to be a problem. Destroyers you can relatively gun down. However, if these were actually players and not bots, Akazuki would definitely be one you would want to avoid. Also, carriers at this tier are going to overpower you no matter what you do, so you would have to rely on your smoke screen whenever applicable. Gun angles. Let's see here. Pretty good. Torpedo angles, not as good as some other ships, but definitely not terrible either. Now I have health and speed buffs, so my ship is a bit more overpowered than normal. For instance, I have 29,000 HP and I can go over 45 knots. But even without the buffs, the ship is still immensely powerful. Just here. Torpedoes reloaded? Almost. Now I see we're heading towards the Tashkent. I'm gonna be seen. So if I was not going to engage this Tashkent with guns, I could definitely just leave it, my AA off. I'm trying to dump some torpedoes out here. Now take a look. These are the flower torpedoes. Yes, they're just cherry blossoms, but they are really pretty. And it doesn't affect the torpedoes at all, so. That Bismarck scares me. Let's see if we can get this Tashkent down a bit. And boom. I know I didn't do all the damage, but I had a few good rounds into her. We're going to use Tashkent smokescreen and try and cap here. Let's see how my torpedoes are doing. It was a kind of weird angle, so I'm not surprised if none of them hit. It looks like Iowa over here may take one. Doink. And Alsace is going to take one as well. Or no. Oh, that Alsace is going to take a bunch though. Just one. Oh man. Alright. Torps are reloaded. You have to be careful about friendly fire. But in this case, should be okay. I'm worried about, what is that? The Elsa's getting in the way, but from the looks of it, she might get sunk before that happens. I'm now going to turn my AA off because I don't want to be spotted by this Bismarck. However, I'm not entirely sure what my spotting range is, so I might be spotted regardless. And I feel like I made miscalculation and I will now be torpedoed. Yep. Dang it. So that's the one problem with 20 cam torps. It's hard to know where they're going to go. But they are very powerful when they hit. Let's try and go after the carrier here. Some few good hits. Another ship sunk. I don't want to be seen by the aircraft, so I'm trying to keep away. It's working right now. Let's do speed boost. The best way to kill carriers in a destroyer I found is either a really lucky torpedo strike or to gun them down. Anything else, and they're just too maneuverable. So it seems about 3.4, 3.5 is my detectability for air. But I still have my smoke screen activated in case I need it. But let's see if we can get some fires. Fire one, let's see what the other destroyer. So the Akazuki is engaging our carrier down to the south there. So there's no reason why I can't go all the way up to the north because there's no way I'll be able to do anything for the carrier anyways. Or at least right now. So yes, I'm separating myself from the game, but at this point it doesn't really matter. However, if there are still quite a few ships left over in the enemy team, you would try to angle yourself while going south. That way, as soon as you finish the carrier, you would have the quickest time back south. And you can see I'm getting quite a few thousand damage for each salvo. These ship guns are accurate, reload relatively quickly, and they have quite a bit of damage. And as you can see, no problem sinking carriers when needed. So now we just have to wait for the other team members to try and sink the Akazuki. Guess I could turn my A on, though I don't even think I'm in range right now, so it doesn't matter. But I'm not spotted, so you know what? Why not? Now this is where the speed that the ship is equipped with comes in handy. Almost going 46 knots. It'll still take me a while to get down to the enemy team, or the last destroyer if I need to. But even without it, it's good for taking care of problems and then rushing back in to the fight. And game over. So let's see how we do. 146,000 damage, 4 ships sunk, 99 shell hits, 6 torps, 2 fires, 4 floods, 2 caps, 1 defended cap. Let's see here. Now this isn't my first game of the day, so my XP is a bit less than I normally would have. And I also had that friendly torpedo, so that knocked off a bit as well. But all in all, a relatively good game. So, final question. Do I recommend this ship? Well, if you like Japanese playstyle but aren't really a fan of spending money, you just want the special ships, then stick with Shimakaze because there is absolutely nothing different except a paint scheme and flower torpedoes like I mentioned earlier. That being said, it is definitely not a bad ship. And you could even have one ship have one set of torpedoes. You could have this one set up with 76 knot ones, and you could have this one set up with the 20 knot or 20 km ones. It's up to you. However, if you find that you too enjoy Japanese destroyers, especially Shimakaze, you can buy this one and use it to grind free XP. That game alone, I got almost 5,000 free XP. In the game I had previous, I was able to get 7.5. So, it's not a bad ship by any means, but there's nothing really special about it. So, like always, the choice is up to you. Has good speed, good guns, good torps, good concealment, but its drawbacks are AA and maneuverability. But the speed is good. All in all, it's up to you. And thank you for watching our video and take care and have a good day.